Hello, welcome to Azure World Tunes. I hope you can hear me. Okay. Got some using links in the box to join and on the event page. For some reason it's not showing up in the YouTube feed, so if anybody watching, so oh lovely. Okay. North Carolina begins drug testing welfare recipients. The programs cost $4,900 and is rooted out a fraction of 1% of applicants. Passed legislature in 2013 for the Work First program. Benefits are specifically for low-income families, largely going to children, on the condition that the adults met work requirements, and the people have to pay for the drug test themselves. So, and somebody has an editorial here. It says North Carolina's welfare drug test condemning the poor. Of the 7,600 applicants, 89 were referred to drug testing and 21 test positive. And they say the worst part of this is the applicants have to pay for the drug testing out of their own pockets. It's ridiculous to expect people looking for government assistance to pay $55 for a drug test that might test negative for. They shouldn't be making people pay to get out of a hole they already can't find a way out of. If the government had to pay for applicants' drug tests, however, it would add up to a lot of government money being spent to make sure people don't frivolously spend government money. This seems entirely counterproductive. The main issue with drug using welfare applicants is that they use taxpayer money to help fund their addictions. In its most simplified form, tax money being used to buy drugs. That shouldn't happen, especially when the money is supposed to help people stay alive, but that's not the case in all these cases. So that's really requiring drug tests won't miraculously cause them to sober up. It doesn't work that way. So I'll leave links for all that. Then we have this about redistricting. There it comes up. They asking to halt redistricting order, asking the government to stop. This guy, they got a petition, went to Chief Justice John G. Roberts Jr., justice assigned to handle such. Lost my place. Request from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit, which includes North Carolina. He can act on it alone or take it to the full court. The state officials want the justices to halt the February 5th ruling of a 3-judge panel of federal judges who found race predominated in the drawing of the state's 1st and 12th congressional districts held by Democrats, Butterfield and Adams, both African Americans. The panel directed the state to draw new congressional districts within the 2-week period or by February 19th. And then earlier this month, Supreme Court ordered Virginia's 2016 congressional elections in November to move ahead, causing a judge-selected redistricting plan. That plan was put in place in January after a court called the 3rd District a racial gerrymander despite a pending Supreme Court case about the redistricting. And this could cause massive electoral chaos in North Carolina because the election process started months ago. Thousands of absentee ballots have been distributed already, and voters filling them out and returning them. And they're already voted and returned. The primary election day for hundreds of offices is less than 40 days away, and it will disrupt or delay them. So, see what comes of that. So, anybody wants to join, the link is in the box. So, that's all I had today. So, slow day for me. Say the chat, Debbie, Blazing, Firecat, and Galzoon. Hello. You guys want to join, the link is in the box. Won't be on too long today, so a fire at a nuclear plant. Yeah, I heard something about that. I'll have to check. I remember hearing there was one here a few months ago. It's not in our news. You're out the box. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that article you read caught my attention too. North Carolina, the welfare recipients.
Yes. That's kind of why don't they drug test all these politicians instead?
That's exactly what popped in my head.
Really.
Yeah.
And the people have to pay for it themselves, so it's kind of.
Oh, okay. I'm double. Hold on.
$55.
Yeah, I was hearing an echo. Sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
that is an astronomical amount of money. I've been, that's, yeah. Oh, because they don't give you enough money for the food anyway. So, I mean, I know it all goes for food because you still don't even get enough to eat.
Yeah, I know.
So,
It's ridiculous. It is.
yeah, that's, try to.
We've had to, have help before. We went to food banks. I mean, everybody has hard times.
Oh yeah, so have I. That's, when, I left the city, I mean, I just, left the city and went back to the country, to get started again. And but yeah, now I turn around and help people and
Yeah.
got off of it. Yeah, but yeah, I've been to where I couldn't afford a $2 terminal for my battery for my car, you know.
Yeah, been
So
there.
for to have $55,
I know. I know.
you know. Uh,
Big
so
day.
that's yeah.
I was just looking into that nuclear plant Blazing was talking about. It was an electrical panel fire. It wasn't nothing major, I guess.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I
But then,
just put the link in the chat there.
yeah. But they're still pushing that Zika virus on the mainstream media, and it's like we saw that 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they're just gonna really hang on to it.
Yeah, anything they can do to build the fear, feed the fear. So
Well, it reminds me of that Pokemon game, when kids had, Pikachu.
yeah.
It's like they're filling up the Pokeball with Zika Chew and throwing it at us. Zika Chew, I choose you, is what popped in my head. Yeah, to them it's just a game. They're just sitting back and wheeling and dealing, and
look at all those idiots.
But it is sad. It is focused on the Hispanic population to get them to not have as many children, and I don't language barrier. I can't go over there and warn them, but I guess they'll do what they have to do.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to join.
Hello, buddies.
Hi.
Hello, Delete.
I'm sorry?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I've got look, I'm in Spain. I've got pretty lame-ass connection, and I don't have a mic, so I'll be mostly listening. Yeah, I don't know how my sound is anyway.
It's
okay.
Good.
It's okay. I have to leave in 5 minutes, and then I'll be back or something. So I'll just check in to see whether you're live or not. Just so you know.
Okay.
I will have to leave in 5 minutes. Well, how are you guys, man? How are you guys?
Pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Nothing in the news over... Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I should not have asked it, sorry. I just flicked through... my body flicked through the Spanish channels here. Even stronger, it was a French channel somehow. But this cunt that owns the IMF, what's his name? That woman. She's supposed to be a woman. I don't know. She was meeting with this Chinese president,
Yeah.
And my buddy, I know he knows about the stuff. I'll always tell him, but he's cognitive dissonance. Let's keep it. No, I was just thinking, it's really, people look again, not fear mongering, but if you have a lot of cash, especially on a bank account, pay attention to this shit, man. That's all I can say. It's just fucking shame if somebody worked so long, for some illusional property, money, or whatever it is, and then they'll just take it from, with some hyperinflation or new currency or what the fuck ever. I'm not really, I'm really, it's gonna be the BRICS or something. Nobody also says that because those economies are just so big, and the capitalism is really played out in the West. you know, here, but yeah, and also there, you know, it's a bit difficult, you know, but the dollar is not going to keep existing. That's really hard to imagine, don't you agree?
Yes.
Or it will be the e-dollar. You know? Sorry. This is great. Hey, you don't give a shit because you don't care about money, but you know, people will just do something or whatever. And my personal advice would be, I don't know, some art or gold. It's hard, man, but just
Yeah.
keeping it as digital crap on your bank account really doesn't seem like the best thing to do. For me, it was just like a major flag waving against these Chinese presidents. Oh, did I?
Oh, she's got a bad connection sometimes. So.
Oh shit! Hope I didn't ram too off this. I was just trying to finish the story. For me, it's really a war. Yeah, war. There's agreement being made there. Let's make that really clear. You know? Between the Chinese president and that IMF CEO, whatever, you know. So they're not just having a friendly chat and everything's gonna remain the same. So I'm not even sure what the damn. It was French, so I couldn't even understand what they were saying. Did you catch anything of it? Or?
The what?
Did you catch anything of it?
No, I heard about it too.
Well, we all know which direction it's going.
Yeah.
I was everything that was like warm or rain, snow.
It's sunny.
Not good.
Yeah, it's too cold for me.
I'm sorry?
I said too cold.
Not too cold. It's the same over here. It's pretty much never good weather. And when it is, it will be 3 days of good weather, and then just massive thunderstorms come. It's always the same. It gets a good weather, then it gets really damp, or how do you call it? You know, it's just really. Because of the moisture in our ground, you know, it's really
damp.
Yeah, damp. I'm not really 100% sure if that's the correct word, but something in that direction. You know, it's really. You can breathe. You know what I mean? It's like this, you know, this pressure. You know.
Oh yeah, it's sultry like, I guess.
Same over there. There's a couple days good weather and then thunderstorms.
Oh yeah.
This is just pretty much the same.
Yeah. Firecat's back.
I knocked myself off.
I'm sorry, but I have to mute myself now anyways. I'll be lurking for 2 minutes and then I'll be back in 15 or something.
Okay, cool.
I already felt guilty with my rambling marching over something. So I'm glad you came back for it, just for that only, of course. How are you doing for fire?
Firecat.
Oh, it's great. It's sunny here and toasty warm, and a car that's been broken 3 months we just got running again.
Awesome.
So we're gonna go zipping around in it. And yeah, things are doing good.
You fixed it himself?
What?
You fixed it yourselves?
Well, yeah, my buddy came and fixed it. We didn't. Yeah, I mean, I can go into it, but yeah, I am a bit of a motorhead. I mean, I like to rebuild engines and stuff.
Cool.
Race cars. Monster trucks. I can. Oh boy, if I could tell you some monster truck stories.
Okay, now you got me curious. Tell me an exciting monster truck.
No.
Did someone drive into the audience or something? Because that happened here over in Holland, you know, just some retarded demonstration of a monster truck out in the open. There were just people standing around them like a bunch of fucking retards, you know, and you know, shit hit the fan. He just run over a couple of people. You know? I wasn't there, but that's that's pretty much monster trucks in Holland. You know, it's so small you can't even do it here.
Yeah, it was, yeah, I guess it was, yeah, 10, 12 years ago when me and my second husband first got together, and that's the first thing we decided to do was buy a monster truck. Oh, yeah, that's probably more offline stories. But well, when I first bought it, it was just a 1985. It was jacked real high, and I was driving it home for the first time and had to go pull over to the grocery store to get groceries, and just stepped out of the car like a normal person, and I fell and hit the ground. I didn't realize. And then we pulled into the bank, and we couldn't reach you know how the little thing comes out to put your money in? We pull up to the bank, and then the bank tellers are laughing at us, and yeah, and so, but, and then when we get pulled over by the police thank us for stopping because they know we don't have to. But yeah, I shouldn't be laughing at my own stuff, but yeah, my grandfather, in World War II, he rebuilt engines for airplanes, and so when I was, I guess, 16, I got my great-grandfather's 64 Chevy, and I can remember as a kid going through these fields in Hallettsfield. It was a little German town in Texas, just a beautiful little town. It had a stone courthouse in the middle and the town square, and my great-grandma had a little cafe with pool tables, and I just remember as a little bitty 2-year-old or whatever, driving through bluebonnet fields. I mean, fields, just an ocean of bluebonnets, and feeding the cows out the back, corn cobs we'd save. And you just hand them to, and the cows were like pet dogs, and they were friendly, and you go up and pet them and stuff. So when I was 16, I inherited the car, and I guess the valves were just worn out, and my grandfather helped me rebuild it, and I got all these high performance parts. It was a 283 engine, and it was kind of a sleeper on the outside, but yeah, that's that. Yeah, and then.
Did you just say you were driving with a monster truck over the street and you got pulled over by this cop? It's legal over here.
Well, we asked him. Well, when we bought it, it didn't have current stickers, and to get current stickers, we had to drive it to get the stickers. So we were like halfway. I think we were lacking one sticker when he pulled us over. And yeah, he just thanked us for pulling over, because it was one of our dumber things to do.
Okay, let me just hold you back. It was one of the coolest things.
Yeah. Well,
which pretty much goes hand in hand, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever drive one, they are fun to drive. You do feel invincible. I'd go through the creek, and it's real sandy, and any truck would just get stuck just immediately.
Oh yeah.
And you could just go. It is the weirdest feeling. You can just go wherever you want. And Russia even has this cool monster truck they just came out with that can go over a lake that's ice covered, but it's breaking through the ice. It kind of floats, and it's just ripping up the lake, staying on top of the ice. Big, huge tires. And they just came out with it. Yeah.
It's really awesome, I've seen it on TV or something before. Like you just said, running through or over the ice, but it kept floating on the tires, and it was just it looked so
Yeah,
weird as fuck.
yeah. It was, I guess, a type of military, kind of almost like a Hummer, but yeah, it was staying on top of that water.
It's so
And,
funny. It's just,
and then I had a little,
I gotta go right now. Be back in 10 minutes, buddy. Sorry.
Okay, no
I'll see
problem.
you in 10 minutes.
All right. Okay.
but
And
yeah. My favorite car I bought for $1,000 was a little Porsche 914.
oh wow.
And it has a little Volkswagen engine,
Yeah.
but oh man, it was so fast and it never drank gasoline. And uh, but it's very dangerous. If you got in a wreck, you'd die immediately. So, but the trick to making it in life is just to have two old cruddy cars and not a car payment. If you have
Yeah.
a shiny car and a car payment, you're not going to make it.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I just put all my money into, houses and real estate and just drive cruddy cars around and they get further in life. But yeah, you have to be able to fix them yourself too.
Yeah. Yeah. I can a little bit, not too much.
Yeah.
Mm. I remember my brother had the '67 Chevy. No.
Mhm.
GMC truck. Yeah, it had I can't even remember the size of the motor in it, but he scared the crap out of me in that thing. Going so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's probably how I got into cars. Is my
Yeah,
dad was crazy, and he would drive. Yeah, we'd drive around. Well, yeah, he had a '67 GTO. So yeah, guys. Yeah, that's probably what happened to me was driving with people.
yeah. I had a Malibu '79. Yeah,
Hmm.
I still had it.
Oh goodness, that's great. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I have my '89 GMC truck, but yeah, yeah, Chevys you can keep going forever.
oh yeah. And I miss that thing. It was a boat though, but
Yeah. Oh, I do have a good story of um let's see. I was 18 and I had a 1975 Cadillac.
yeah.
And no, maybe I'm not still. Well, I was noticing where you live is kind of like as far north as where I want to go, Eureka Springs, but
Yeah,
is would be between me and you.
yeah,
But golly, where you live is probably just as pretty, if not prettier. The
yeah,
mountains are probably even bigger, aren't they?
yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. I love going up on the parkway. Yeah, but it's awesome.
Yeah, there's even almost a big lake there too in the corner. I don't know the name of the lake, but
There's Lake Lure, Lake James.
yeah,
That, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Man-made lakes, that is.
Yeah, that's how in Arkansas is most of the lakes are, yeah, man-made. They're all dammed
By
up.
Duke Energy. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
boy. Say hey to the chat again. Phantom Prophet, Mr. Grimm, Debbie, Lotsome, Phantom Prophet, Blazing, Firecat, you're in there. Me and Galzoo was in earlier. Hello, guys. Uh, so, is there any news worth mentioning where you're at? Firecat?
Oh, let's see. Nothing's bad. We've had a pretty good year this year. Nothing too terrible local news. Last year at this time, we had tragedy after tragedy. This intersection down the road from me,
Yeah.
a lot of people getting wrecks, and they were, my renters and stuff, and it's just sad,
Okay.
really, really sad stories. And the road is 70 miles an hour. There's no light. I mean, it's a Valero that in a road. I mean, literally once a week somebody freaking dies there. I mean, this lady, like last week. I mean, I didn't know her, but and yeah, it is kind of scary out here because in a blink of an eye, people just boom, you die. You
I've
really
seen,
have
I've
you
seen
have to
that
take life.
where I worked at a couple times at fast food. People in a hurry pulling out, bam,
Yeah.
damn.
I mean, it's so bad, like they didn't have even blankets to cover the last lady up, and I'm like, they
Yeah.
literally need to have a stack of blankets in that store. And and it's just like, what is, where is the common sense? I mean, put a stoplight or I'm and it's between these two huge cell towers,
Mm.
just big cell towers, boom, boom, on each side of the road. And I don't know if that's what's contributing to the wreck, because the wreck that killed our friend, the guy that hit her, he didn't even he didn't even know why he hit him.
Yeah, the frequency, microwaves. Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
that.
two of them just right there. I
Yeah,
mean, and I mean, oh, it was so sad because they pulled her out and she didn't even have a mark on her, and they
damn.
did CPR, and
Mm.
and the fire chief lives just three doors down, and he just said, we know the people in we, and so they, she was a firefighter,
Yeah,
and we have volunteer firefighters, and everybody loved her, and she was very young and pretty, and
yeah,
they took her to the um, fire station and laid her out, one last time. This is the last time she's on Earth. But yeah, the funeral's on YouTube. You can see it.
yeah,
Haley Muller, Mullinex, Mulex.
yeah,
And yeah, so yeah, Valentine's Day last year, her boyfriend, was driving by, and he was taking, going to take flowers to her grave.
yeah,
So it was real sad. But yeah, this year, but the guy that's helping us build our house,
yeah.
um, yeah, he's a wonderful guy. He's golly, they're just putting that house up so fast. But we had this only happened like 2 weeks ago. Um, we had one week where we were waiting for a delivery of supplies, so he was just next door at his brother's house hacking on some Yupon with a machete,
Yeah.
and slipped and cut his leg right where his leg meets his body at the
Yeah.
hairline, and got the major artery.
Ah,
And so he screams at his brother, and they jump in the car and zoom away, and it's 20-minute drive to get to a hospital. And Eric saw him sped off, but we didn't call him because we knew, they were driving frantically to the hospital. And, as Chris is driving down the road, he told his brother, "You're going to have to hold your wound." And so they get there and stop the bleeding, and filled him full of blood. And then he lost 2/3 of his blood. And they send him to Bryan College Station, where they had a 10-team surgeon, 10-man team surgeon waiting for him. And
Yeah.
they fixed it, and the very next day he wanted to work because he was out of cigarettes.
Oh, shit.
I mean, he had lost. The lady said if he would have been 5 minutes later, he would have been dead, literally. And yeah, but all that new blood made him feel really good. But yeah, I just paid him 2 days in advance, and made him wait. I said, here, But I just can't imagine anybody, going through that, and then the next day thinking that they could work. But yeah, the 2 weeks, he's looking really good now, though. He looked really bad right after it happened. But yeah, stuff pops up all the time here, but it's not on the news.
Yeah. I haven't even looked at my local news. So,
Yeah. I am probably rambling. If you have better things to do. It's just nice talking to somebody.
I had something about fracking here on my phone. Shit.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't have that in my immediate area, fracking.
It's fighting fracking in Brazil. I wish I could screenshot it, but I'm on my phone here. So, last December, the anti-fracking movement celebrated an important victory in Brazil. Federal judge in the city of, I can't pronounce it, ordered the suspension and cancellation of all oil and gas exploration activities, including fracking, in Jurua Valley, a region recognized as the most important stronghold of the last uncontacted indigenous peoples in the planet. So, they blocked that.
Yeah, there's huge water reservoirs down there.
Yeah.
You don't want to pump toxic chemicals into the water. Yeah.
And you know who owns all that, so.
Yeah. I know who bought it all.
Yes. The Bush family.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, water's going to be the next oil, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
The way they're even restricting people collecting rainwater. I mean, I can't even, in Montana, this guy got in trouble for building a lake for his cows. I mean, I just can't even understand that. I mean, it's just the more water, the better things grow, the cooler the climate. California, it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
They made everybody stop watering plants and put artificial grass, and that's just going to exacerbate a tree rains down like water droplets, and it cools.
Yeah.
And they just snowballing it, making it worse than it has to be with policies that.
Yes, they always do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody just planted $1 packet of sunflower seeds in their backyard, imagine how much carbon dioxide that would absorb that year.
Yeah.
Just one packet. Everybody that had a backyard, and just look at the sunflowers, and the birds will eat them. But it's just simple little things, but yeah, I went to California when I was 18 years old, but it was really, really dry. I mean, it's hard to grow, period. And I mean, I think the reason the house prices are higher there is because it's like you get free air conditioning. You know, in here in Houston, house prices are lower, but then you have a higher utility bill because you have to pay for, you know, air conditioning.
Yeah.
And so, but that's why, I mean, like right down the street, the new apartment complex opened up, and for a one-bedroom apartment, it's $1,300 a month.
Damn.
And yeah,
Good Lord.
yeah, that's ridiculous. And so that's why when I'm done with my little house, I'm just doing 5 little houses in a row, or well, I don't know how I'm going to lay them out, but my rent will be like 500 a month.
Yeah.
And then I'll plant fruit trees and nut trees and have a pond, and I'm going to expand it to where I have a big stainless steel community kitchen and
Yeah.
a little science lab and a pavilion to have cookouts, and just keep adding to it.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and so, but like one of my this is how I help people. Like I have a renter, and you know, to help him make money while he's at work, I found a piece of land for him, and I set up 2 rental properties for him. So he gets rent from those 2 people, but then and he pays me rent. You know, it made his life easier. You know, he doesn't. You know, instead of paying me 500, now he gets 800. And I mean, you know, you know, so that's how I think and how I help people.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. More people would like that. Yeah. Be a lot better off.
Yeah. So just do a little bit I can.
Oh yeah, the link is in the YouTube chat somewhere there, guys. I think still. If anybody else wants to join, it's on the event page. If you can't find it there. So there you go. I'll be right back. Hang on just a second.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I'm back, but I'm lurking for 2 minutes already. So just, but I agree with what Rebecca said. You know, just people will do more things like that. It catches on. You know, it's not like people will take an example out of it. You know, or the people who are willing to do it. So, I mean, if even just people just didn't bother each other. So yeah, so yeah, I appreciate this stuff. It's keep doing that stuff, and what more can you do? You know?
Yeah, just when I stepped out of the system and then thought of approaching things different ways, life changed for me, and you know, money is the root of all evil, but it seems like when you stop chasing it, then it just starts coming your way. And but yeah, I wish I would have learned all this early in life, and you know, now I'm just setting things up for getting ready, you know. I just always had these kind of conversations with my grandfather, and he's yeah, late at night when everybody was asleep is when you get the good stories, mainly like the World War II stories that, you know, the guys don't really say, it's quiet late at night and you start to hear the stories and it starts to make sense of what things happen. Like my grandfather in World War II, he got kind of messed up with a vaccine, or when he was vaccinated to get ready to go over to the war.
Yeah.
And oh, you're back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to do this one?
Yeah, I was telling a story,
Yeah.
but so he was at I guess the boot camp, getting ready to go over towards Africa, North Africa,
Yeah.
and they lined everybody up and gave everybody vaccines. And he was the only one out of the group that got really, really sick, and so sick he couldn't even get out of bed. And his commanding officer came up and pointed a gun at him and said, "Hey, if you don't get out of bed, we're going to shoot you."
Oh, damn.
And my grandfather said, "Well, shoot me, then I'll feel better." And so then they walked away and left him alone. But he went to the clinic, and the doctors were not allowed to treat him. And then Granddad said, "Well, if you were allowed to treat me, what would you give me?" And the doctor said, "Aspirin." So my grandfather said, "Well, can I have a bottle of aspirin?" And so they said, "Yeah, okay." So he was real sick for like 2 weeks. And he heard of one other guy that the same thing happening to, but in a different unit or whatever. But so he recovered, and he went over to North Africa. He was fighting Rommel over there, and he was an airplane mechanic. He always wanted to be a pilot, but his eyes weren't good enough. But he was like a really good mechanic. If a plane flew over his head with 4 engines going, he could tell you number 3 was missing. Or, I mean, he could tell what engine was messing up as the plane flew over you. And but the story. Both my great grandfather and my grandfather both had stories of the boat trip for both of them in World War II and World War I. They starved the soldiers on the way over there. They don't feed them.
What?
And yeah, and then I was telling that story to another guy. We were looking, you know how they have those pictures of all the soldiers, and he says, "Yeah, they do that because they want to mean when they get over there."
Does that not be weak too from not eating?
Yeah, it was in World War I. It was so bad they were throwing the bodies over. The soldiers were dying, and my great grandfather was so scared of being eaten by the fishes, but they were just throwing the bodies right over the.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh shit! Okay, get out of here, Yankee man. And you do not want to get him on air. But anyway, and my grandfather had this story of one guy got a hold of a loaf of bread, and he pulled the covers over his head and ate the whole loaf. He wouldn't share. It was that bad. So, but you know, they get over there, but another story was my grandfather did see a real UFO over there in North Africa, and he took pictures of it. And then I'm thinking, well, he was an airplane mechanic, so he would know the difference.
Yeah.
And the Nazis had that.
Yeah.
Remember those experimental Bell UFO or whatever? And he built a dark room in his house, and it was like the dark room he never used. I mean, it was like frozen in time for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then he got it all amassed, and then he went in there and developed the role, and then he showed me the picture, and it was just one little dot in the, you couldn't tell. Bless his heart. You couldn't tell that it was a UFO, but he was adamant that it was. And so, yeah.
All I've seen like that is in government, so.
But then later on in life, though, he was always real sick, and it was always from that vaccination that I told you about. And they finally figured out what was wrong with it. They did blood tests on him, and he had 10 different strains of typhoid in him. And the
What?
doctors were, yeah, some weird ass
Oh my
experimental
God.
vaccine they did on them. And
Oh,
the doctors were like happy that they finally found out what was wrong with them.
It's time for you to take your crazy pill.
Shut up. And I'm very well monitored.
shit.
But so they were just thrilled that they finally found out what was wrong with him, the 10 different strains of typhoid, because you can cure typhoid.
Yeah.
These strains could not be cured. So he was always sick.
Oh my God.
And he had to retire at age 45. He was a
Yes.
piping design engineer, and the way Houston is like all the engineering companies, there's like it's mainly the insurance companies,
Yeah.
but they didn't want to, because he was sick, he became blackballed because back then everybody had insurance, so they didn't want to pay. They knew he was sick, so then he couldn't work, and so and he never went to a VA hospital, because why would you? Because so he just sat. It was just sad that his life was sort of ruined due to the vaccines. He would have had a lot more money but then, he taught me the thriftiness of, getting a rusted car and ripping it apart and putting it together and driving it for 10 years. He did the same thing. And the lessons I learned, but I am kind of sad about it.
Yeah, we ain't nothing but guinea pigs to them.
Exactly. Back then, they were very expendable. The Nazis were experimenting on their people, so I'm sure we were doing it to ours.
Oh, yeah, they still do today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it's just salt on the wound that then he couldn't work, at the profession that he had trained for, due to the fact of what happened to him.
Yeah.
And then, when my son got vaccinated to go into pre-K, he was never, ever, ever sick from 0 to 5. He got sick one time because we went to the doctor's office for my older kid, and he caught some virus from a little kid in there. But that was the only time he was ever sick. Yeah. And then going into pre-K, he had to have all his shots. Well, I didn't give him his measles shot when you were supposed to at 3, because I knew better.
Yeah.
Because I've heard, But so going into pre-K, he got his shots, and then he developed this cough, and he just cough, and then finally they figured out that they were calling it asthma. But my sister had asthma, and it was a wheezing. Yeah. And what Hunter had was not a wheezing. It was a cough. But then I finally figured out that it was fabric softener sets him off. I can't use fabric softener anymore. He's like developed something to it. And when he was with the kids in the classroom, they all had fabric softener. I don't think it's that degree of. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure the vaccines are what caused. Yeah. But he's outgrown it. But he had to go on asthma inhalers and medicine for a while until now it's all gone. He outgrew it. But I know it's from the vaccines. You just don't. That just doesn't pop out of thin air.
No. Yeah, God only knows what's in them damn vaccines. Like with your grandpa, 10 different kinds of typhus that's uncurable.
Yeah, 10 different strains they were able to identify, and then they weren't able to clear it out. And it was almost like a yuppie flu type symptoms. Well, the guys that came back from Desert Storm, they had
Yeah.
similar type symptoms.
Yeah.
And then he said, like, the insects over there, well, you don't have resistance to the insects, like, you know, you have resistance to viruses and stuff here, but when you take, you know, go over there, and he said, like, when you got a plate of food, if a fly went on any part of the plate, you had to throw the whole plate away. You couldn't just move the piece of food that the fly landed on.
Yeah, Daddy said that. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, the viruses were that bad. And then in the desert, you would think it was hot, but the first night he got there, well, he was the only one that managed to put his tent up properly. Nobody else could do it. But the first night, his water canteen froze solid.
Dang.
So the next night, he decided to sleep with the canteen so it wouldn't freeze, but it froze solid anyway. But it was such a harsh environment to freeze at night and then to be steaming hot in the day.
Yeah.
And then he would, like, pick up a little stick, and when he went to Italy, a little, like a stick the size of a pencil, and he said this would be a real find over there because, you know, everybody used all the wood for firewood, and everything's blown up and torn up. It's, you know, like hurricane conditions.
Yeah.
But so he had a lot of soap, and that was real valuable. You could trade it for chickens and stuff.
Wow.
But those survival stories. But yeah.
Yeah, my dad was over there. I heard a lot about that stuff. Yeah, the oil fields burning too, so we have pictures of that somewhere, so.
Oh, he went to Desert Storm?
Yeah, that was when I was in junior high, so yeah.
Yeah, my dad, he didn't have to go to the Vietnam War. I'm glad.
He almost missed out on that. He turned 18 before he was getting shipped off. He was just going to go to the base in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got sent to Vietnam.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Because, yeah, my dad was 17 in 65, but yeah. That's not, you wouldn't want to be
Yeah.
a lot of years to get thrown over there.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's 15 minutes till Kip, so I'm going to go ahead and end the live. So, but you can stick around, you know, chat afterwards. So.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, no problem. We'll see, what's today? Saturday. Peace and love. See y'all later.
Thank you.
Bye.